Hello, this is Friday, and that means it must be time for Drink and Drive Traffic with Mark Kelly. I'm Mark Kelly, and this is, on this show, what we do is we pair a really nice libation with some discussion of marketing ideas. Whatever is going on in terms of digital marketing, whether it's for marketing agency folks or businesses, we try to cover it all at some point here. This week, what we've got is what I think is going to be a very special pairing. I have got a Don Julio Reposado limited edition. It's finished in whiskey casks. So I am not typically a huge tequila drinker, but I've sort of had a little fondness for it lately. So decided at the urging of many to give it a shot this week. There it is. I took the plastic off, but otherwise, so I didn't want to fumble around with the plastic. I figured I'll be fumbling around enough by the end of this episode. So I'm going to use my grandfather's antique green glass shot glass here. And I think the appropriate way is probably to start with a shot of this and then sip. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this works today. I have a feeling that's going to come back to haunt me. Okay, I'll give myself a little something to sip on here. So, once again, I'm Mark Kelly. This is a Don Julio Tequila limited edition, and I want to. You can see my websites here. I own Inbound Revenue, digital marketing agency. I own Instant Agency, where we provide smaller agencies and contractors, consultants, salespeople the opportunity to own their own marketing agency for as low as $349 a month. And then there's me, your marketing guy. And then there's this week's choice of alcohol, libation. We have the Don Julio website. Interesting story. By the way, these are all made from agave plants, and agave plants are, all the tequilas are made from blue agave, and the agave plants are a member of the lily family. I've got to say, personally, my favorite member of the lily family. So that's a little factoid there for you. I'm going to talk about 4 subjects this week. Oh, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out. On Facebook, a lot of people gave me some really excellent ideas of what to drink. I did not go with the $200 Patron. Maybe we'll do that at a later date. But I wanted to give a shout out to Mario. He suggested the Don Julio Reposado. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Mario will let me know on Facebook. So I wanted to give Mario a shout out for the contribution to today's show. And I want to talk to you about a few things that just came up this week. I don't have a specific topic, but I just had a few subjects that hit me this week as I was working my ass off, as we all do. And the first topic that I wanted to sort of talk about, which is going to be fueled a little bit by tequila here, but that is, when is a lead a lead? I'd like to hear some feedback from you on Facebook, too. I'll post this question up a little bit later. When is a lead a lead? So to me, a lead, and I don't have a clear, Webster Dictionary definition of it, but a lead is someone who is a consumer, whether that's a business or a resident, is reaching out or responding to a marketing effort with the intent to purchase a service in the near future, typically, if you're talking service businesses. But I think the key word is intent here. Has the intent to and the need to purchase a service. So since I grew up sort of in the AdWords world since 2003 and drive a lot of search traffic, I'm very comfortable that an AdWords lead is typically a lead, at least a marketing qualified lead. What often causes me a little wonderment is when I see these, proclamations on Facebook that we drove 187 leads this week and they only cost $1.93. And so the question comes up to me, are they a lead or are they simply an entry into a funnel, which could at some point develop into what I consider a lead, something where there is a clear intent to purchase a service, and most likely from, or at least the advertiser is under serious consideration for being the business that service is purchased from. So on Facebook, in general, you tend to get a lot more leads, quote unquote leads, a lot cheaper than you do on AdWords. But typically, all you have to do, you might not have to do anything but give them a phone number on AdWords, say in a call-only campaign. But typically, we drive them to a landing page and they fill something out or they pick up the phone and we track it. They have looked for a service. They have identified the territory they're in. They are actively searching. I think there's tremendous value in a top-of-funnel lead. But I think until there's an intent, we might need to come up with some different language to describe them. And we might want to make sure that when we're saying we generated, 70 leads for $1.25 each, that we've qualified that these are people who had to drop maybe their email address, maybe their first name, and they're getting fed into a funnel. It's all good stuff. It's beautiful marketing. But is it a lead? Let me know what you think later. This is just a rant. I should drink some tequila before I get into this. Are you tired of the gurus that we constantly see? Speaking of funnels and top funnel leads, are you tired of the gurus on Facebook? Are you tired of the 19-year-olds who found a way to do something one time, then said, oh, I've got the secret to generating a 370% ROI on this or that or the other thing? Are you tired of the gurus? They're telling you they can help you run your agency, that you're doing everything the wrong way, that they've figured it all out. It seems to me that the business is replete with these people, and what they're doing, two things, is they're turning a lot of people off that are in marketing. There's not too many people I know in marketing that really know what they're doing that need a guru. The other thing that they're doing is they're getting a lot of people involved in marketing and reselling marketing, often at a very high price, in my opinion, who don't really know much about what they're doing, don't know how to deliver for the client. And those of us that had to follow up after these people who have been guru trained, we often have clients who have been burned, in my opinion. So I think a question I'll pose this week on Facebook is, who is really a guru? Is that a term we want to use? And can we please, do something to sort of chase the gurus out of our industry? If that means we have to get pitchforks and torches and go up to their castle and chase them out, I don't know what the solution might be. But, it's funny. I talked to one guy I see his ads all the time. I try to pause them. You've probably seen them too. And he's like, we're going to triple your revenue or 10 times your agency revenue in less than a year. And then I find out he's only been quote unquote guru for 5 months. And he doesn't really have anyone he's 10 times their revenue for. Maybe if you extrapolate it out over a year, it might get there. But he's got guys that really like him. Well, that's not the promise. You promised to 10 times revenue. You didn't say there are people that think I've been really helpful. Hell, I can be really helpful. When I finish this, I'm going to be even more helpful. Give me a call. Hit me up on Facebook. Tweet me. I don't care. Okay, just for grins and giggles, I wanted to tell you who I've been listening to these days. I think I'm going to get some shit for this, but I've been listening to a lot of Gary Vee, and I've got to tell you, Gary Vaynerchuk, I think I said that correctly. Just go with Gary Vee. You'll find him. Man, I love the fact that he did not. I love the stuff that he's handed out. I also love the fact that he admits when he's wrong, and he admits when he may be wrong. I think he's truly authentic. I don't think he's blowing smoke up our ass. I think he is who he is. And he's been very helpful to me, because one of the problems that most of us have in this industry is we're trying to find a voice, we're trying to brand, we're trying to present our agency. And oftentimes it's just a matter of presenting ourselves, because we have to be the driving force behind our agencies, behind our teams, behind the services that we deliver. We have to be. And we have to be willing to be open, raw, and authentic. So I've listened to him a lot. That's Gary Vee is high on my list right now. If you hate him or love him, reach out, let me know. Joe Rogan. Okay, so Joe Rogan is the UFC announcer. He's the guy that did the crazy show back in the the 90s or whatever, Fear Factor. But if you listen to his podcast, it's amazing. It's amazing because we get fed so many sound bites of information on traditional media, even on Facebook with ads and little short videos and stuff like that. For him to sit down for 2 or 3 hours with someone, whether it's a wrestler, a comedian, a scientist, whatever the case may be, it really opens up your mind to more traditional ways of thinking, less soundbitey ways of thinking. Plus, he's funny. The whole show is funny. It's something that you should definitely be listening to on your runs, your walks, your drives, whatever. Let me know what you think about that as well. Now, I heard Jordan Peterson on his podcast, and I've got to tell you, I think this might be one that you may or may not agree with his beliefs and his politics, but the man, here's what you can take away from him. He is super smart. And if we could learn to compile and express our thoughts as clearly as he does, and to think as deeply before speaking as he does, I think we'd all be better off. Watch him sometime. You may like him, you may hate him. This isn't a political show, and there's some political overtones with some of the stuff that he presents. But remarkably smart guy. I like him. I listen to him. Turn me off if you want. And the last subject, I've been doing AdWords for a long time. I've been doing AdWords management. We do SEO. We do Facebook ads. We do website builds. We do those things because they're really effective for the small business service businesses that we work with, the e-commerce businesses. There are definitely other areas of marketing. I know many of you are in them, content and social media and PR and different things of that nature. But one of the challenges is that you spend a lot of time and effort building something out, and there's a lot of churn in the marketing industry in general. We've recently moved into the pay-per-lead in some niches. I see a lot of upside in that. I see 3 challenges. Those 3 challenges that I see are you have to maintain a very high quality lead, which again brings us sort of full circle back to when is a lead a lead. You have to be careful not to lose money on the leads because you're selling them at a fixed cost. And I believe in selling them to a single person. At least I believe that now, a single business as opposed to 5 businesses, like sort of the tackle model. And I believe that you also have to look closely at what your lead sources are so that you're able to sell marketing qualified leads. I think it's fine if you're selling top of funnel leads from Facebook, but you just have to really be upfront about the quality of the leads that you're going to sell people. I'll be interested to see what you all have to say about that. It's a fairly clean model that comes with a couple downsides. And I also know there's other ways to do it. I talked to a guy today who's got a website. It's apparently just a rank and rent, and he just gets his leads off. He pays so much a month. All the leads come to him as long as he keeps paying that. And that, I think, is a good SEO play. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been thinking about this week. I think I'm going to go enjoy this Don Julio Tequila. Don't message me too early in the morning. I'll see you next Friday again for another episode of Drink and Drive Traffic. Thanks, guys.